Hello students, here I am Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School, Mohanapur, Gorakhpur. Let us proceed on the next chapter of the Hornbill, lesson 8, Silk Road by Nick Middleton. Students, let us proceed on the next paragraph of the lesson Silk Road of Hornbill. Let us see its reading. Paragraph 5. The snow didn't look too deep to me, but the danger wasn't its depth. Daniel said so much as its icy top layer. If we slip off, the car could turn over. He suggested as we saw Satan grab handfuls of dirt and fling them across the frozen surface. We both pitched in, and when the snow was spread with soil, Daniel and I stayed out of the vehicle to lighten Satan's load. He backed up and drove towards the dirty snow, eased the car onto its icy surface, and slowly drove its length without apparent difficulty. 10 minutes later, we stopped at another blockage. Not good, sir, Satan announced as he jumped out again to survey the scene. This time he decided to try and drive round the snow. The slope was steep and studded with major rocks, but somehow Satan negotiated them. His four-wheel drive vehicle lurching from one obstacle to the next. In so doing, he cut off one of the hairpin bends, regaining the trail further up where the snow had not drifted. I checked my watch again as we continued to climb in the bright sunshine. We crept past 5,400 meters and my head began to throb horribly. I took gulps from my water bottle, which is supposed to help a rapid ascent. Students, let us see some words to be noted as blockage, jammed by, or close by. Survey to inspect the site. Started with fixed by big rocks. Negotiated, settled them, or dealt with them. Lurch, a sudden movement forward or one side. That is also you can say ludacna. Obstacle, that is hurdles, impediment. Drifted, here the floating of snow gently on the ground, that is drifted. We in our local language say falling of snow, but when snow fall it drifts into the air. Head began to throb, means headache increase of headache. To supply sufficient quantity of blood to the body parts, causing sometimes headache. Head began to throb, means increase of heart rate to supply sufficient quantity of blood to the body parts, causing sometimes headache. Fling them, that is through them. Operant, clear. Operant, that is clear. Let us see its explanation. The narrator said that the snow didn't didn't look so deep for him, but according to the narrator, danger wasn't its depth. Daniel said that its top icy layer according to Daniel, that its top icy layer was more dangerous for them. According to Daniel, if they slip off due to icy crust of snow, the car could turn over, and this and thus they could guess the further accident only. As Daniel was suggesting, the narrator and his companion saw that Satan grabbed handfuls of dirt and sprinkled them across the frozen surface. Both the narrator and his companion stood motionless in their places, seeing the spread of snow along with soil. Daniel and the narrator stayed out of the car to reduce the weight of Satan's load. He came back and drove towards the dirty snow, easing the car onto its icy surface and drove slowly its length without any seen difficulty. After the drive of 10 minutes later, they stopped at another blockage. Not good, sir, announced Satan as he again jumped out from the car to survey the scene. This time he decided to try and drive around the snow. The slope was steep and studded with major rocks, but anyhow, Satan covered the distance, while his four-wheeler vehicle lurched from one obstacle to another and thus moved on. In doing so, he cut off one of the hairpin bands, regaining the trail further up where the snow had not fallen. The narrator checked his watch again as they continued to climb in the bright sunlight. They crept past 5,400 meters and his head began to beat dreadfully. Means the heartbeat was increased at this time. The narrator took some gulps of water from the water bottle, as it is considered to help a rapid ascent of mountains or a rapid ascent of high hills. Students, now proceed on next paragraph, paragraph 6 of Silk Road, Silk Road or Silk Road by Nick Middleton. Now see its reading, paragraph 6, page number 77. We finally reached the top of the pass at 5,015 meters. It was marked by a large cairn of rocks festooned with white silk scarves and ragged prayer flags. We all took a turn round the cairn in a clockwise direction, as is the tradition, and Satan checked the tires on his vehicle. He stopped at the petrol tank and partially unscrewed the top, which emitted a loud hiss. The lower atmospheric pressure was allowing the fuel to expand. It sounded dangerous to me. Maybe, sir, Satan laughed, but no smoking. My headache soon cleared as we carried down the other side of the pass. It was 2 o'clock by the time we stopped for lunch. We ate hot noodles inside a long canvas tent, part of a work camp erected beside a dry salt lake. The plateau is pockmarked with salt flats and brackish lakes, vestige of the Tethys Ocean, which bordered Tibet before the great continental collision that lifted it skyward. This one was a hive of activity, Men with pickaxes and shovels trotting back and forth in their long sheepskin coats and salt encrusted boots, all over all over sunglasses against the glare as a steady stream of blue trucks emerged from the blindingly white lake laden with piles of salt. By late afternoon, we had reached the small town of Har, back on the main east-west highway that followed the old trade route from Lhasa to Kashmir. Daniel, who was returning to Lhasa, found a ride in a truck, so Satan and I bade him farewell outside a tire repair shop. We had suffered two punctures in quick succession on the drive down from the Salt Lake, and Satan was eager to have them fixed since they left him with no spares. Besides, the second tire he had changed had been replaced by the one that was as smooth as my bald head. Students, let us see some words to be minded before come to the point of explanation of this paragraph. Cairn of rocks, cairn of mineral ores. Okay, means a store, large quantity of something, a store of something. Here, cairn of rocks means a large store of rocks. Festoon, that is, decorate somebody or something with colored papers, flowers, light, etc. It often happens in our homes also that we are going to arrange some sacred festivals or some ceremony. We decorate our houses with light papers or colored papers, flowers, light, etc. These things are called festoon. Festoon. In one word, decorated with. Ragged means old and tattered cloth, which is used to whip something or to clean houses. To clean, we use rag cloth also in cleaning our vehicles, etc. Students, the concept of ragged might be clear to you. Emitted, let out. Carried down means brought down by. Pockmark means a pitted scare or mark on the skin left by a spot. That is called pockmark. You might have seen some marks on the faces of the people when they meet the adolescence, and after those measles, marks are left on their faces. This is pockmark, means a spot, a sign, a pitted sign, pitted scar on the skin left by a spot. That is pockmark. Brackish lax means salty lax. It is when adjective form containing some salt but not as much as seawater. Means the lakes contain salt but it is not as salty as the seawater. Waste is, that is sign of. Have, hive of means home of. As hive of bees, in the same way the place was a hive of the people who were active or who were always engaged in doing some active work. Now let I explain the paragraph. The narrator and his companions reached at last at the top of the pass at the height of the 5,515 meters. The pass, The craft was situated at the 5,515 meters. It was marked by a large heap of rocks decorated with white silk scarves and old torn prayers flag. They all took a turn round. Who they? Means the narrator and his companion Daniel as well as Satan the driver. All took a turn round the heap of rocks in a clockwise direction as it is the custom. Satan during the halt checked the tires of his vehicle. He stopped at the petrol tank and partially, that is, in part, opened the top, unscrewed it, that is, opened the top, which let out a loud sound of hissing. The reason was the lower atmospheric pressure was allowing the fuel to expand. The hissing of the expanded petrol sounded the narrator very dangerous. Seeing the narrator frightened, Satan told the narrator while laughing, "It may be dangerous, but no smoking to avoid fire accident." The author felt headache at that height of the pass, but his headache soon became off as they came down. The other as they came down the other side of the pass. It was 2 o'clock by the time they stopped for lunch. It was 2 o'clock when they stopped for the lunch. They ate hot noodles inside a long canvas tent which was part of a work camp installed beside a dry salt lake. That flat hillland contained many signs of salt hills and salty lakes, which are the trail of Tethys Ocean, which bordered Tibet before the great continental collision that lifted it skyward. This place was a home of active men with pickaxes and shovels coming back and going forth in their long sheepskin coats and salt encrusted boots. All those working men had put on sunglasses against the bright sun as a steady stream of blue trucks emerged from the blindingly white lake laden with piles of salt. By late afternoon, they had reached the small town of Hor, back on the main east-west highway that followed the old trade route from Lhasa to Kashmir. Daniel, who was returning to Lhasa, found a lift in a truck, so Satan and the narrator bade him farewell outside a tire repairing shop. Their car had got two punctures in a quick succession on the drive down from the Salt Lake, and Satan wanted to have them fixed because had no spare because he had no spare tire left with them. Why Satan wanted to have them fixed? Because he had no spare tire left with him. Besides it, the second tire he had changed had been replaced by one that was as smooth as his bald head.